April 6, 9:18 AM, Grand Tower, PIC meeting room. Hello everyone, Triple S Bagusma. It's an investigations, Miles Edgeworth, Prosecutor's Path. This is the finale of the Forgotten Turnabout, and even though I just recorded for an hour and a half straight of the last episode, I want to just get this case finished today, so I can move on tomorrow to the final case of the game. And it seems like in the guide it won't take that long. There just needs to be some form of testimony to go on. But you never know with these Edgeworth games, they like to shoehorn in lots and lots and lots of dialogue just to lengthen the parts. So let's see how long this will take us. Oh, Christ. I'm probably going to lose my voice as well, so. And I might be a bit burpy because I'm having some Coke. That's the only drink I have on hand at the moment. My water's gone. Ah! Order in the courts. Prosecutor von Karma, a report please. I have bad news. We've searched every inch of the Grand Tower, but the auction gavel was nowhere to be found. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict. Pronounce? What did you just say? Announce? Well, it sure seems that way, you know. Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind the murder weapon, you know? The best criminals would never do something like that, you see? Don't have enough information. This is as far as I can go. Yes, it's a shame, you know? But it can't be helped, you see? This takes me back, you know? All those defendants who came to me asking for a plea bargain. They trusted me, you know? Told me every one of their dirty little secrets, you see? And when it came time for the trial, I'd get them sentenced to life in prison. They were all completely dumbstruck, you know. Each and every one of them. Oh, how I wish you all could have seen it, you know. The stupid look on their faces. I shall hereby announce my verdict. See, you say announce that time. Please humbly accept the words of the law. There's nothing more I can do. With this, both Kay and I are... Uh-oh. If only we had some evidence. Never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this. Is this the end? Defendants, Blaze the Best, I hereby indict you. What? What? Oh. Oh? What's gotten into you all of a sudden? I have here documents regarding a certain case. The IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago. Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... On the day of the crime, the record of your keycard being used was because... I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seems it was before the black market auction had begun. At first I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. At that time I simply could not tell you the truth. I have 7 incident documents jotted down in my organiser. The last case? What are you doing, Justine? Why are you in... I don't know how to actually pronounce that word. Indicting? Pops? Indicting? It's weird. Without any basis, this is slander. That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course there is a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Karma fabricated information regarding the body. That was because the body of the sculptor, Isaac Dover, had been stolen. Papa fabricated information about a body? What do you mean? Detective Lacer, who handled the initial investigation, reported that the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive Prosecutor von Karma, there is a person who purposely did not report to him that the body had disappeared. What? What did you say? That person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report. Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report for the I-7 incident. But please wait, Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey. Oop, bit of lag there. That person was the Chief Prosecutor at the time. The Chief Prosecutor? 18 years ago? You don't mean? The Chief Prosecutor, who gave Papa his first penalty? It was none other than you, Blaze the Best. What are you saying? Bots would never do something like that. Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Blaze the Best, you have a rebuttal. Fabricating stuff about the body, Von Camber did all that on his own, you know. Justifying the autopsy reports. Young, you would actually do something like that. You really did some terrible things behind my back, you know. Seeing as how all the parties concerned are here today, we should ask them directly. Please wait. Granny is... Ouch! Granny, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Yep, because if I didn't, he said he would expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. That's what that man, the conductor, told me. So, Miss Jensen, was being threatened. Was the conductor who threatened you Blaze the Best? That... I don't know. The person who threatened me was the auction conductor. You do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face. Any trivial thing is fine. Gives a characteristic that could be a clue. That's right. The conductor's mask, it exposes a tiny part of his face. There's a tattoo there. I'm sure of it. Conductor's clothes dated... updated in my organiser. And this is jotted down, but it's updated. A tattoo, you say?
Objection.
I really have no idea what you're talking about, you know? As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see? So that person doesn't match me at all, you know? The person who threatened her, this so-called conductor, I wonder who it is, you know? Right, I know what's going to happen. He's going to burn his beard in his freak out at the end, and it's going to reveal the tattoo. Obviously that's going to happen. You've incurred the wrath of the Goddess of Law. I suggest you watch what you say. Hasn't he incurred your own wrath, rather than the wrath of the Goddess of Law? Jill Crane had been pursuing you, just as I have. And I will not let her death be in vain. Crane was, you know, you say she was pursuing me? My, I didn't really know her that well, you know. I don't mind girls chasing after me, you know. But I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see. You didn't know the victim well? Why is a testimony we haven't heard up until now? Before the eyes of the Goddess of Law, you shall give us an official testimony. I see. Everyone is bullying me. If you're gonna go that far, that's fine, you see. I'll just have to make you disappear. Every last one of you. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we will ever get him to stand in court again. Please do not let this chance go to waste. Yes. I promise I will live up to your expectations. Now then, Blaze the Best, you shall testify regarding the victim. Here we go. Regarding Jill Crane. The victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee, you see. Personally, I didn't really know her that well, you know? Either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know? I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see. You intend to deny your guilt until the bitter end, don't you? Of course he does. There's no way Pops could be the criminal, pardon me. I mean, he's my Pops, you know? He's the very best, like no one ever was. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch criminals is my real test. To send them to jail is my cause. Yes, Sebastian. If you're going to stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, you know. Alright, I got it. I'll clear you of these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you, Pops. You won't lose to someone like Miss Edgeworth. Yes. You really are pure, you know. That person. He really loves his father, doesn't he? However, one must be able to accept the mistakes of their father. No matter how much they may look up to him. Ooh. Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are. This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but I simply cannot overlook his father's crimes. Okay, so we're going to go personally. I didn't really know her that well. Press. So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim? That's right. I didn't even know about the burn mark on Craig's hand, you see. You didn't know about the burn mark? Well, you see, even if I had gotten close to her, she would have disappeared soon. It's a pain to remember someone, you know, when they're just gonna disappear, you see. In other words, anyone who defies him disappears. I would like you to add your statement about the victim's burn to your testimony. I only just learned that she had a burn mark on her hand, you see. Press. So you're saying that you didn't know about the victim's burn. Is that really the truth? You really are persistent, you know. You really think I would pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand? I would think the burn mark on the victim's hand would be hard to miss. Now that you mention it, Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I too did not know about the burn until the incident occurred. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. I thought so. She was probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see. I understand how sensitive a woman can be about these things, you know. I would like you to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony. Maybe she was always wearing gloves in order to hide the burn mark, you know? At this, we present... Somehow this works. Okay, where is it? There it is. Stuffed animal. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that is true, then it creates a huge contradiction. Oh, a huge contradiction, you say? I would like you to listen to the voices recorded on this stuffed animal one more time. And I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time. Ah! We were under the impression that this was the moment when the victim was murdered. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought that this statement was said by the culprit. Isn't that fine? What's the problem, you know? There is a huge problem with that. If the victim had been wearing gloves from the start, it would have been impossible to see the burn on her hand. Objection. Gloves come off very easily, you know. She could have taken them off during the auction. That's not true. Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place. She must have been wearing them before she was murdered. What are you saying? Don't you understand the position you're in? I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me. Blaze, your day of reckoning has finally come. Somehow, it seems like you all want to disappear. Now you see, permanently. The only one who will be disappearing here is you, Blaze the Best. Hey, how dare you say that to Pops? Does it really matter if the burn mark is visible or not? It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation. Turnabout! I forgot turnabout! What are you saying? If the victim's burn mark wasn't visible, what exactly does that tell you? The culprit also had a burn mark, the victim didn't have a burn mark, there weren't any burn marks. The culprit had a burn mark. Yes. Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then her burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen? Someone else's. Burn mark? Precisely. The culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit but the victim. What?
Objection.
Sebastian, could you please step aside? Edgeworth, all your reasoning up until now was just a figment of your imagination, you know? The culprit had a burn mark. Where was it, you know? If you can't answer that, then your logic doesn't hold up, you know? Where was the culprit's burn mark? I wonder where the burn mark could have been. During the auction, wasn't everyone wearing a disguise? Indeed, during the auction, everyone should have been dressed in a particular way. If the burn mark was still visible under those conditions, then... Now, why don't you show us? Where was the culprit's burn? You'll have to show me the proof, you see. At this, we need the conductor's clothes, wherever they are.
Take that!
It was what the conductor was wearing during the auction. In other words, the outfit you were wearing at the time. What can you figure out from the clothes alone?
Objection!
The conductor had been wearing a white suit, white gloves, and a mask. His attire had covered up most of his skin. However, according to Miss Jensen's testimony, the conductor's mask exposed a small part of his face. In addition, while she thought there had been a tattoo there, it's possible that she simply mistook the burn mark for a tattoo. Oh. A burn mark on his face?
Objection!
That's all very scintillating? Scintillating, maybe scintillating. Scintillating sounds weird. But I'm afraid you're getting excited over nothing, you know? None of the PIC members have any burn marks on their faces, you see. Naturally, that includes me as well, you know? Huh? But Pops. But... Sebastian, could you please be quiet? If you're an idiot, you act like one, you know? Normally, Sebastian is a nuisance to everyone around him. But this time, I owe him my gratitude. That reaction from Blaze, his own son, it reveals the truth more clearly than anything else. Thanks to him, I am confident that my reasoning is correct. I know who the unidentified piece of evidence belongs to. I wonder what's wrong with that prosecutor. Usually Sebastian is slower to arrive at the truth than anyone else. However, this time he has probably figured it out. His own father is a criminal. Since he knows the truth, he's in pain, isn't he? If he didn't know the truth, he could have remained blissful in his ignorance. Okay, we are here in order to pursue the truth. It doesn't matter what path my reasoning takes, the important thing is to arrive at the truth. Once before, when I lost faith in my reasoning, you said that to me and showed me the way. This time, I shall show you the truth. You are innocent. I also want to know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, please tell me. Yes, that's the spirit. That's impossible, you know. For all of you. I mean, just where could I possibly have a burn mark? There's nowhere to be found, you see. There's no evidence to prove that I'm the culprit, you know. If that's right, there's no contradiction at all. There's no way there can be a contradiction. Not for my Pops. Sebastian, I understand why you don't want to admit it. However, if you avert your eyes from the truth, you will regret it forever. But Pops, what should I do? I really wonder why you're such an idiot, you know? Sebastian, if you really want to save me, you'll have to try a little bit harder, you see? Gotta use your head, you know? Honestly, you really are a useless idiot. No way! But I tried real hard. I tried my best, Pops. I went to the school you told me to go to, reached the top of my class just like you told me to. Just look at this jacket. Only someone who graduates at the top of his class gets to wear it. I did everything you told me to do. That's how I got to be the best at the academy. I even won all those awards, just so I could be like you, Pops.
Objection.
You really are such an idiot, you know. You know those gold stars you got on your tests? I made the teachers give them to you. Every speech and debate contest, all the judges were my friends. You know, Sebastian, if you weren't even able to notice something like that, you're really not worthy of being called my son, don't you think? Ah! Ah! Wah! Aw, even my son has disappeared. Oh my, is it not to make me cry, you know? He was trying his best for me, and yet he was totally useless, you know. A truly despicable person. As the chairman of the PIC, and as a father. Even I feel sorry for that foolish prosecutor. Poor Mr. Prosecutor. Blaze the best. What do you think of your own son? He's just a useless pawn, you see. Well now, maybe you should look in the mirror before you criticise me, you know? I mean, even you. You also used Sebastian to get close to me, didn't you? I cannot deny that. However, he's not a mere pawn. He always tries to do his very best, even if the results are not to par. I've seen just how hard he tries, and yet you refuse to even acknowledge it.
Objection.
That kid is no good, you see, no matter what he does, or is told to do. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall leave this offering to the Goddess of Law to you. Delivered to her divine judgment against Blaze the Best. Yes, that was my intention, from the beginning. There was a burn mark on the conductor's face, and Blaze the Best must be hiding it. What was he wearing during the auction? That is the key to revealing the truth. Well then, allow me to hear your answer. Please show the piece of evidence that proves the culprit had a burn mark on his face. Okay, where would this be? No, it's right at the end, isn't it? There it is, Karen's testimony. Yes. If you would recall Miss Jensen's testimony, there's still one point that remains unexplained. 2 types of wigs had been prepared, one of which was left unused. Do you mean the wavy wig? What are you talking about? It was something Miss Jensen found when she switched places with the victim. What does something like that have to do with the burn? Inside the costume trunk, Miss Jensen witnessed 2 wigs. One of them had been used by Miss Jensen to make her look like the victim. Well then, just what was the other wig used for? It doesn't seem like it was a spare wig. There's no need to overthink it. Just compare the attire of the true culprit, the conductor, with that of Blaze the Best. Don't stare at me like that! Don't you think there's just one spot where there is a huge contradiction? Specifically, around his face. So that's not a wig at all. Indeed, it was no wig. Blaze the Best, it was your fake beard. Ah, this is a real beard, you know. Don't tease me like that, Edgeworth. Your son must have realised the truth before anyone else. That's why he was trying so desperately to protect you. You were also worried that he would tell the truth. Isn't that why you drove your son away from here? Because he knew that his father was hiding a burn under his fake beard? God damn it, I got another TV licensing refund thing. I don't own a TV license. God damn it, emails, spam. Blaze the Best. How about you remove that fake beard of yours? Hi, birds and birds, the goggles do nothing! Simpsons reference right there. Burn mark. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Justice has been served before the Goddess of Law. For that, I give you my thanks. I should be the one thanking you. Blaze the Best, I hereby announce my verdict. You shall be taken into custody for the murder of Jill Crane. Cigargos, they do nothing. There we go, we won. April 6, 9:44 AM, Grand Tower, PIC, meeting room. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you very much. I'm so happy that you believed in me to the very end. There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor. No, as a friend. I simply want... God, I can't speak. I simply wanted to save you. Oh, pardon me. Sorry. Prosecutor Edgeworth. I bring good tidings. It seems that former chairman De Best has been safely detained in a detention centre. However, the search for the murder weapon, the auction gavel, continues. Blaise De Best is a shrewd man. There's a good chance that he has already disposed of it. There is also one piece of testimony that concerns me. Blaise De Best mentioned that the only thing he did not fake were the letters. What do you mean? Miss Crane, thank you so much for helping me plan. First he found this letter in Jill Crane's clothes. Then he also found this letter on Kay, who was unconscious in the storeroom. The contents of the letters seem to suggest that the two had been corresponding with each other. Which is why Blaise De Best assumed that the two were working together. Ridiculous. That can't be right. After reading the two letters, he decided to pin the crime on Kay Faraday. In order to cast suspicion on her, he planted one of the letters in a noticeable spot. The deceased Jill Crane's left breast pocket. Isn't that just an excuse? Yes, that is what I thought as well. It may have simply been a last-ditch effort to save himself. However, before the stern eyes of the goddess of law, these are all trivial matters. This crime shall certainly not go unpunished. With this, I have finally fulfilled one of my long-standing missions. Judge Courtney, will you tell me what you know? Why did Blaise De Best murder Jill Crane? And what lies hidden behind this case? Yes, I don't mind. You have the right to know everything. Long ago, Jill Crane was in love with a cameraman. That man was pursuing the black market auction as a journalist. And then, before he could reach the truth, he was erased. The feelings and the items Miss Crane inherited from her beloved brought her to the auction. She had come to exact revenge on the conductor, Blaise. Although in the end, she was the one who was murdered instead. I see, so that's what happened. While the goddess of law cannot condone her actions, who succeeded in her goal of bringing Blaise De Best's crimes to light. So, Judge Courtney's goal was to expose Blaise De Best and reveal the dark secrets of the PIC. By the way, what happened to the young prosecutor? We have been unable to contact him for some time now. Do you have any idea where he might be? I had not been truly working for him, so... I see. I feel very sorry for him. What you should be sorry for is the fact that he was kept in the dark until now. No matter how cruel reality is, he will have to accept it. If he can't, he won't be able to walk his own path in life. Ever. A father's influence is not something that is easily erased. However, I'm sure he will be able to change from here on out. Yes, that's right. Surely you must be right. Will I too be able to walk my own path in life? Okay, is your body alright? Yes, thanks to you. I'm so sorry, even though you're my patient. You ended up getting suspected because of me. Ouch! You can't just take care of the patient's body, you gotta take care of the heart too. That's my granny. Kate, how are your memories? I feel like I'm on the verge of remembering something. Well then, I shall take my leave here. I will be presiding over Patricia Rowland's trial. That will be the trial for the murder of Horace Knightley. Who's in charge of the defence? Miss Crane was supposed to be her defence attorney, but now that she has passed away, we are currently arranging for a replacement defence attorney. Jill Crane had been in charge of Patricia Rowland's defence. Also had to get in contact with Sebastian quickly, since he's the prosecutor in charge. Well then. But please wait. What about Mr. Edgeworth's prosecutor's badge? What will happen to his prosecutor's badge? With the chairman's arrest, the PIC is no longer functional. so I cannot answer that question easily. Perhaps one could say, only the Goddess of Law knows. But that's... You don't need to worry about me. This is the path that I have chosen. It seems you have no plans to change it either. Of course not. I chose this path to seek the truth. With the departure of Blaze the Best, the law has once again returned to our hands. If you truly desire to continue the Prosecutor's path, I am willing to assist you in reclaiming your badge. I appreciate the sentiments, but I must decline. I did not relinquish my badge with half-hearted feelings. I see. It seems that our paths of law will continue to run counter to each other. Until our paths cross again, once again, I shall have you hold onto that badge. That's my intention from the start. However, on occasion, the Goddess of Law is quite generous. Please return this notebook to its proper owner. Kay's promised notebook. It seems this was scheduled to be put up for bidding at the Black Market auction. The name Kay is written on the notebook. It seems Blaze the Best quickly realised this belonged to the girl, since the letters he found also contained the same name. You speak as if you really did not know about the letters. Are you saying that Blaze really did not prepare the letters himself? Yep, that man said so himself. Kay Faraday's goal was to steal back the notebook. Jill Crane's goal was to get revenge. In order to achieve their goals, the two teamed up to infiltrate the auction. Or so he says. Unfortunately, this was all Blaze's misunderstanding. It was purely a coincidence. If the attorney from the PIC and Kay really were acquaintances, it would be strange that she never mentioned it to me, considering her personality. Yeah. You really do trust her, don't you? In the end, the notebook was used as another red herring, but it's something that is very important to that girl, isn't it? I'll make a special exception and return it. I'm sure that's what the Goddess of Law desires. That's, I appreciate it. I shall pray that she recovers her lost memories. And she's off. Bye. Is something wrong? Okay, I'm returning something very important to you. This is... Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Look, Daddy, I wrote them all down. Yep, I'll be sure to follow all of our promises and become a hero just like you, Daddy. Ah, that's right. There was one more. I forgot to write down the most important promise. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I'll be sure to remember. I'll never ever forget them. Always try your hardest to learn things you don't understand. That's right, I am. I am the great thief who steals the truth, Kay Faraday. I'm the second Yatakarasu and Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Kay, you remember? It's kind of embarrassing though. Thank you so much. It's all thanks to you, Miss Edgeworth. Even when I lost my memories, you were still always trying to save me, right? It seems you're back to normal. Wow, Kay, you've gotten better. Your health comes first. Now you can relax. Just make sure you don't run off and lose all your memories again. Ah, Miss Jensen, Dr. Young. Thanks for worrying about me. Hey, if you're feeling all better, how about changing back into your own clothes? I washed your clothes for you, okay, so they're nice and clean. These clothes, wasn't Detective Gumshoe holding onto them? He said forensics was done with them, so he gave them back to me. Have they revealed the results of the analysis yet? To be honest, I actually didn't think to ask about that. Now, more importantly, let's hurry up and get your change, Kay. Still, isn't it better if we do not remove her bandages? She should be fine now. Kay just bumped her head. Like that. She didn't really have any other major injuries. Oh, then why was she so heavily bandaged? Better safe than sorry. A pound of prevention is worth an ounce of cure. That's my motto. What a troublesome motto. Come on, Kate, let's get you dressed up over here. Now, this is definitely what a great thief should look like. The smile certainly suits you best. In the past, and now as well. It's from Karma. Thank you for coming too. Oh, it came because Scruffy asked me to. That's Scruffy. He also wanted to see your energetic self again. Gummy! What happened to Gummy? Who knows? Maybe he was disgusted with the man who willingly threw away his prosecutor's badge. Detective Gumshoe. Must be going soon. I'll be taking these ladies in for questioning. Ah! What's going to happen to the two of them? One aided in the murder of an attorney, the other forged an autopsy report 18 years ago. Those crimes definitely won't disappear. But statute of limitations? Maybe? Maybe not, I don't know. Of course I will mention in court that they were being blackmailed by Blaze. We'll be just fine. As long as Granny's by my side, we're invincible. Well then, take care. Now then, Kay. Sorry to ask so soon right after you regained your memories, but I have some questions. Sure, ask me anything you want. What were you doing on the day you lost your memories? On that day, I was asked to come to God Lake. I don't know who called me there, though. As I was watching the moon at God Lake, a person in a red raincoat approached me. All of a sudden, he used some kind of drug to knock me out. What? What is she saying? The place where Kay saw the moon was at God Lake? When I woke up, it seems I somehow ended up on the roof of the Grand Tower. My mind was still in a daze, so I stumbled around for a bit. That's when I found the person in the red raincoat collapsed. I was startled, and when I stepped back in panic, I fell from a high place and got knocked out cold again. And when I woke up, all my memories were gone. The person in the red raincoat. Who exactly was that person? Oh yeah, I was certain that I saw them walking in midair. Somehow this is all starting to make my head hurt. Please calm down. You're just a little confused because you've only recently gotten your memories back. Most likely, this is the main cause of your confused memories. You fell in a hole, your memories of 2 places, your name on the notebook. Your memories of 2 places. This is probably the main cause of your confused memories. You saw the moon at both the God Lake Park and the Grand Tower rooftop, which led you to confuse the 2 places. Huh? But aren't they totally different places? Even if I was in a daze, do you really think I'd get them confused? Most likely, there was something at the Grand Tower which led to your confusion. So it says place either the cherry tree or the stall. So let's try the cherry tree. Does that work? Grand Tower Rooftop and God Lake have 2 points in common. They both have a cherry tree and a food stall. Ah, now you mention it. Your memories were confused because you had been in 2 similar locations. The person that you first saw could not have been walking in midair. They were simply walking on the ground at God Lake Park. You must have gotten that scene confused with the Grand Tower Rooftop. So that's what happened. How dare they steal the memories of a great thief? They'll pay for this. Nevertheless, I wonder who the person that assaulted Kay was. The person in the red raincoat who appeared at God Lake. Huh? Ooh. What's that noise? Sounds like it's coming from the storeroom. Miss Edgeworth, let's go check it out. What's this? My shutterbug sense is tingling. I smell me another scoop. You're still here? I was wondering whether we were going to mention her. She's been standing there this whole time. April 6, 9:53 AM, Grand Tower, 51st floor, storeroom. So here's one thing that I missed. The transceiver. Miss Edgeworth, this walkie-talkie thing here is what's beeping. This transceiver. Why do I feel like I've seen it somewhere before? Whose transceiver is it? It's still beeping, Miss Edgeworth. I'm not particularly familiar with this sort of device. Come on, you have to answer it. Here goes. Hello, Edgeworth speaking. Okay, please don't just answer it on your own. I'm speaking with Mr. Miles Edgeworth, I presume. This voice is... Shelley the Killer. Haha. I congratulate you on resolving the case. However, can you truly say in good conscience that it has been resolved? Are you aware of the mastermind who is pulling the strings behind this incident? You. Why do you know about the incident? That's what's important right now, wouldn't you agree? Right now, we're discussing the mastermind behind this case. I've had an inkling that such a person existed, even before you said anything. After all, there was evidence to suggest that someone had used K to disrupt the investigation. Huh? There was... Oh, I thought it was going to actually... Huh, there was? So, who's his mastermind? I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Would you kindly show me the evidence that indicates the existence of a mastermind? Is it Victim's letter? That's just a letter, so maybe not that one. Keycard. Victim's letter, there it is.
Take that!
It was the letter that Kate allegedly sent to the victim. Come to think of it, I don't remember writing that letter at all. Who could have prepared this letter? I too am quite curious to know. So you're not the one who wrote the letter? What could I possibly gain from doing such an act? Is it not necessary for you to stand in court in order to make the truth clear? What can you possibly do now that your badge has been taken from you? I look forward to finding out from the shadows. This man, how does he know that? Do we have an understanding? Please ensure you do not betray my trust. Now then, if you'll excuse me... He said the case wasn't solved yet. What did he mean by that? Why would Mr. the Killer even bother telling us that? Ugh, nothing makes sense anymore. This case has not reached its true conclusion yet. However, although I've lost my prosecutor's badge, who I am still has not changed. While I don't know where this may lead me, I shall reveal the truth. I swear it. The end! See, I told you, it seemed short in the guide, but nope, it took us about 43 minutes. 42 and a half, right there. Well, that's the end of the Forgotten Turnabout. Next time, we will move on to the Grand Turnabout, the final case of this game, and see what Shelley the Killer is on about, in that there's a mastermind who's just controlling everything so far. I have to find out who that person is, and I'm pretty sure it's not the next part, the first part of the next case, but the one after that, that's really long, with 2 logic chess parts in it, that I'm probably not going to record all in one sitting, because it's going to probably take like 3 hours, and I'm probably just not going to be wanting to be bothered concentrating that hard enough on the logic chess for that long. Oh god. Ugh. Anyway, so there we go, Forgotten Turnabout, done. Next time, Grand Turnabout. So, thank you for watching, I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.